What's up, Eagles Nation? This is Bry with Eagles Real Talk, the flyest reporting on the Eagles in the game, across YouTube. It's right here. Thank you for joining me today. The Eagles have moved to 4-0. We did it. I predicted it. If you've been following ERT, you know that I said we're going to have a tremendous season. I have us going 15-2, with my early prediction a few months ago. And it's looking like we may get that 15-2. So if you're new to the channel, what's up, Miss Bird Gang? Let's go. Let's go. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Get down with ERT. This is post-game talk with Bry. Let's get straight into it, man. The Eagles came out to, they came out a little, I would say, not sluggish, but I don't know. They just didn't have that fire to start the game. It was great that we kicked off instead of getting the ball today, because we did have a slower start to the game. We didn't really get it going until the fourth quarter. To the second quarter. That first quarter we went down 14-0, and I was like, oh, not one of these games. It's raining. It's the conditions are bad. We've been having success in the air. Is this one of those games where Hurts is gonna come out and have one of those bad games? But he got it together. Second quarter, we went up. At halftime, we were up. It was a great comeback. To go down 14-0 that early, usually it's curtains. You know what I mean? You have to be a good team, and you have to have a good coaching staff to kind of get yourself going again. You have to refresh, start over the next quarter or the next half. And in this case, we got it together in the second quarter. We didn't have to wait until the second half to try to make some miraculous comeback. What's up, Bird Gang? That was a rough one. Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough watch. Not our best game, even though we scored 29 points. It didn't feel like we scored 29 points. It was one of those games where kind of felt like it was like 17-13, 17-10 type of win. It just didn't feel like we scored that many points. But that just goes to show how good of an offensive team I guess we are. At the end of the day, we're obviously a team that's always going to put up points, whether we have a good game or a not so good game, whether it's terrible raining conditions or it's not. This is one of those teams where we're gonna bring it every game. I can see that now, because this is one of those games where they could have went down 14-0, just said, it's raining, it's a crappy start to the game. Let's just go into halftime down and try to come back next half. But no, Nick Sirianni, he gathered the troops. He got us all together, and it was great to see. What's up, Zay? Edits 4-0. Let's go, man. This is a perfect start. It's really a perfect start. We've ran through 4 teams now. We've had some pretty convincing wins. Today is one of those wins where we had to, fight a little bit harder. I would have still liked to see us put up some more points in the second half. I think the second half is starting to, I wouldn't say worry me, but I'm starting to raise my eyebrows. You know what I mean? It's like, you guys going to start getting together and put up, another good second half, like the start, because we put up 20 points second half we put up 9 points. There's a big difference. So we definitely need to start putting up some more points in the second half and in the fourth quarter. But sometimes that comes with being up so much in the first half. So we'll see how that continues. Let's go over Jalen Hurts' numbers. 16 for 25, 204 yards, 0 touchdowns passing. He did have that one that got called back to A.J. Brown, and then he had 1 interception. Not his best decision, but I can live with that in a rainy game where, he's been throwing the ball pretty accurately. That was just one of those bad decisions where you try to gun it in there, and it just wasn't the best decision. You didn't see the guy coming up on the side of him. So, it was one of those games. He only got sacked 2 times for 13 yards, so that was good offensive line protecting. We did have a couple injuries on the offensive line. Mailata is down. Looked like it's not going to be too serious because he was working on the sidelines doing drills. He looked like he wasn't in like a serious amount of pain. The one thing, the one injury real quick is the Darius Slay injury. We didn't hear too much about it. It's kind of weird. A forearm. He was seen on the sideline. It was questionable all game, like he was maybe going to come back, maybe not. It was just one of those type of games where the injuries kind of caught up to us the fourth game of the season. Simply Noob Galaxy 4-0, first time since 04. Let's go. It was what more can we ask for at this point? What more can we ask for? 4-0. We're the best team in the league. We've shown it. The stats don't lie, numbers don't lie. And I feel like this is our year. I said at the beginning of the year, I said, why not us? Why can't we have one of those 15-2 type of seasons? Why can't we be the number one seed? Why can't we sweep our division? And I think we're well on our way to doing that. We started off the first quarter of the season 4-0. Let's start off these next 4 games and get to 8-0. Fly Eagles 5. Hashtag Simply Noob. When we took care of business on Trevor Lawrence went 11 for 23, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and we sacked him 4 times for 26 yards. So we took care of business on Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, he's still a young quarterback. I think we threw some things at him, and mixed with the wet conditions outside, I think it was, it just got to him at the end of the day. They didn't run on us at all either. The best run of the day was 11 yards by Etienne. He went 8 for 32. Robinson, who's been killing, he's been lighting it up. He had 8 carries as well for only 29 yards. So we took care of business. Yes, sir. Yes, sirs. Amazing season so far. Noob Galaxy. I'm really excited for this year. You guys know I've been saying it. I'm gonna post up some of my my predictions and the reaction I got while I was on other channels as well when I said we were going to go 15-2. It's kind of funny looking back on it now, looking at the excitement of the season, looking like, hey, maybe we can go 8-0, maybe we can go 10-0, maybe we can really get this thing going crazy. So thank you for rocking with me, Noob. You've been down for a while now. Catching the football. We didn't have the best day in the air, let's be honest, but that was to be expected. It was raining. It was windy. It was one of those games, and Hurts still managed to throw for 200 yards. He threw it around the yard. A.J. Brown caught 5 receptions on 7 targets for 95 yards, so that was almost a 100-yard game. If that touchdown wasn't called back, he would have had over 100 yards. Dallas Goedert, he was killing on those screens. Are dangerous with Dallas Goedert. We got to keep utilizing that. Dallas Goedert went 5 receptions for 72 yards for 6 targets. So great day for Goddard. Sanders even got in there, 2 catches for 22 yards. And Devontae Smith had he had more of a slow day. He was a little injured for part of the game. I guess we'll hear more about that throughout the game, but he did come back in. But he only had 3 receptions for 17 yards on 4 targets. My surprise of today, I thought, Fast Batman, a.k.a. Quez Watkins, I thought he was going to have a big day today against somewhat of, like a middle tier secondary, I would say the Jaguars have. And Quez Watkins only had 1 target for no receptions today. So we'll look for him to get back in the mix. I believe one of his, he had a solid game, I believe, against the Cardinals a couple years ago when he was a rookie. So maybe we can get him going early or on a deep pass. We'll be in a dome in Arizona, week 5 against the Cardinals. We'll talk more about that, but obviously I have that as a W. But yeah, let's get back to the defense. Let's talk about the forced fumbles today. So Hassan Reddick, he's coming around. He's coming around that mountain, and he's looking to strip sack. He had another 2 today. I think he got a fumble recovery as well. He was just all over the field, man. This guy is looking like, You know, he was worth all the money we paid him. Everything is going, ever since that first game or two where he had somewhat of a slow start, which is to be expected sometimes. You know, we can't really go, you know, too crazy on his slow start. We have to give him some time, and look what he's produced. You know, the last 2 games, he's been an absolute beast out there. So Hassan Reddick, he had 4 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 tackle for loss. TJ Edwards had 4 solo tackles, 6 total with 1 sack. So he got in the mix back there. You know, Kaiser White had 3 tackles. So, you know, Bradbury had an interception. I think that defense is just all around playing great football. I think Gannon, we have to take a step back from Gannon, even myself. Obviously, Gannon was, you know, somewhat irritating, you know, to root for last year, considering all the times he would play soft. But now that we have the linebacking core that we have, I think it's cleaned up a lot of deficiencies. Jordan Davis came through, had a big game. I just believe we have one of those defenses that is going to clean up a coach's, you know, somewhat deficiencies. I also want to say this as well. Tell me, do you agree with this? Andre Sacheret has to stay on the active roster. He came in the first day. He made a great play on special teams on punt return coverage. He was just, you know, he was always around the ball. He was always chasing. He's one of those guys that goes after it. He's a dog on special teams, and we need him to get actual, you know, playing time every single game. So we somehow have to get him on the active roster, because someone's going to scoop him up eventually, and we're going to lose out on, you know, one of our special team aces. And if you go back last year, he was making plays as well. So Andre Sacheret, we have to get him on this active roster, because our special teams is weak, man, and we need a player like him who's making plays. Let me get to the comments here. We have an easy schedule, but you never know when it comes to the NFL. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. You know, obviously we have an easy schedule, but at the same time, you have to go out there and win the games. You know, a lot of people would have said Jacksonville was an easy win at the beginning of the season, but now they're looking like a pretty, you know, tough team. You know, they gave us all we could handle. So I think we have to look back at the beginning of the season and now kind of go through, you know, a good sample size of 4 games and kind of see exactly who the tougher teams are. Simply Noob said that he agrees with the Andre Sacheret take. Yeah, man, we have to keep him on special teams. He's our only special teams ace out there. He's showed it since last year. We have to keep him out there on special teams, because we really need all the players on special teams that we can get. Don't believe you, Sengro. Okay. For real, I have screenshots. Boston Scott needs to return. Okay, so Boston Scott, obviously, you know, Boston Scott came through. He's been playing great since he's been a Philadelphia Eagle. He has the big games against the Giants. You know, he comes through. Always makes impacts in those type of games. He's one of those guys who does the little things. He can kind of do everything. He can catch the ball. He can make tough runs. But today I like what I've seen from our new guy, you know, that we got from the 49ers. So we'll see how this goes. But as of now, I like our run game. Today we went up against the number 1 defense. They were only allowing 55 yards per game on the run. Only 55 yards a game. We ran for over 200 today. And Jalen Hurts wasn't even a big factor in that. So that's just our offensive line. Our offensive line is fantastic, man. They're just doing so much when it comes to on the screens. Jason Kelsey calling out guys on defense, calling out the blitz, helping out Jalen Hurts. The offensive line, Lane Johnson not giving up anything. You know, the only thing right now that we have to worry about as far as the offensive line is health. Obviously, we had a couple injuries today. We'll keep an eye on that as the week goes, and I'll try to make sure to report on that as quick as possible. Speaking of reporting, I'm also going to get going on my shorts. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and also lock in that notification bell so you know when these reports are going to come in. I'm going to try to drop them as soon as possible going forward. So if it's not a full video like this or live, it'll be a short. So make sure to lock in. But that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to get in on the live, see what y'all are talking about. Obviously the Eagles are 4-0, so I'm just overjoyed, man. It's been a great start to the season. Simply Noob, yes, he is a beast. The one thing we have to do, we got to get better on fourth down. I will talk about that real quick. We got to get better on fourth down. But appreciate it, Simply Noob. You're the best, my guy. Appreciate you for always locking in, tapping in with ERT. We definitely got to get it going for a few things this season, but so far, we're the best team in the league, y'all. The Eagles are the best team in the NFL. Say it with me. The Eagles are the best team in the NFL. It's the first time we've been 4-0 since 2004. That was almost 20 years ago. So it's been a long time, and that year we went to the Super Bowl. So Eagles, best team in the league. I agree with y'all in the comments. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. And you already know what it is. Keep it real always. I'll see you on the next video. 4-0, baby. Let's